One of the big changes that happens as we continue is that in the past, we have always looked at something which arises in body, mind, or world, and then we move toward it. But as we become more stable and more mature in our practice, then what begins to happen is that when an object grabs at our attention, this happens naturally, by the way, through the sense doors, right? Through sound, taste, touch, or mind, physical sensation in the body. These are all the sense doors. It's natural before recognition of the self as being consciousness and bliss. Through conditioning, attention just moves toward the object. But once there's a recognition that all objects, whether they are in the physical world, or they are in the mind, or they are in the body, or in the reactive nature of emotion, no matter where the emotions are arising, they are outside of this stillness. Once this is seen very clearly, then this reactivity, this natural prior state of conditioning which moves us toward an object, instead reminds us to fall back into the stillness. In this place, every single object that rises in body, mind, or world, every single phenomenon, then becomes like a bell of mindfulness. So we experience anxiety, where before we might wrestle with that in some way. Where is this coming from? I don't like this. I need to get away from this. What can I do? How can I stop this? Instead, we just fall back away from it. We don't reach out and grab it with the mind, with the emotions. We just don't reach out and grab it. We can allow it to be there, but by not grasping it, it's free to go when its time is done. We are not holding it by saying, I don't like this, I don't want this. You see, the Buddha was very clear. He said very clearly, whatever you resist persists, right? That's our modern way of putting it. You've all heard that. Whatever we resist persists. Well, the Buddha said, if you want to be free of all passing phenomenon, simply don't cling to them. He didn't say push them away, get rid of them, suppress them. He said, see them clearly for what they are. Some response at some sense door, mind, body, or world, and just don't touch. Don't touch. So what we are doing, one can say, in a way, this is just a way of putting it into words, is we are reconditioning this mind, which has been conditioned to go out toward objects and out toward phenomenon, and now we are retraining it in a way. Every time we come back through the inquiry into this silence, whether it's a silent inquiry or the remembrance, I am that which is aware here now, either way, we are reconditioning the mind so that whenever it wants to stretch out strongly into a phenomenon, an object, in the tendency in the past has been to get caught in that, now we back up in a way. So we recondition that. And then over time, we become very stable in that ability to just rest in that stillness and let the objects and the phenomenon come and go, whether it's phenomenon in the world, phenomenon in the body, phenomenon in the mind. We're just letting everything flow in its natural way, and the recognition is simply awareness is here in all of this. And there's a deep relaxation that comes with this. A loss of fear, a loss of the anxiety. But for a long period of time, it may continue to come. Even after we've recognized that the way is to remain in this still space, or retreat to that still space, or fall back into that still space. These things continue to come. Understand that realization has nothing to do with the prarabdha karma of the body. even after full realization, the sages have always said, what the sage recognizes is that nothing truly exists except being, consciousness, and bliss, except awareness itself. This is the only thing that actually really, not even a thing, this is what actually exists. Being, consciousness. And so everything else is just passing through this field of conscious awareness. And when you come to understand this completely, then you will rest. But the phenomenon that are related to why this body was born, why you took this birth, they may go on for some period of time. The secret is don't become lost in them anymore. As soon as you have the stability to become not to become lost in them anymore, but rather just to fall back into this recognition that awareness is here under all circumstances, then this foundation strengthens. It's not important anymore what's coming or going. It just has to play itself out. In fact, there's even a celebration of it, right? One can say, oh yes, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. Whatever has to be cleared out in this lifetime, let's clear it out. Let's do this. Let's complete this. Let's not have anything to carry over at the end of this body. Let's not carry anything over. So then you can say, oh, okay, let's do this now. Let's finish this.